Just how are Bethesda going to keep Starfield interesting? With 1,000 different planets, this is going to be a huge task. Fortunately, we have a selection of information to hand, so here is everything we know so far about Starfield's worlds. Starting with planet variety. With 1,000 worlds, it's very likely there's going to be some repeating planets out there. In fact, it turns out that this is indeed a part of the design, but Bethesda are also keen to ensure there is some variety out there. Now, in a recent Lex Friedman podcast, Todd Howard discussed the process of creating planets. He explained that the studio had generated a system that was capable of building realistic-looking terrain tile sets. A selection of these were then created. Separately from this, a bunch of handcrafted content was also created. There's very little specifics on what type of handcrafted content this means, but likely buildings, settlements, caves and other type of locations that you'd like to visit, both natural as well as man-made. All of this procedural content as well as the handcrafted content was then taken and blended together using in-house tools. The results of this were then wrapped around a huge sphere, a planet, making for a good variety of interesting worlds. Ultimately then, we can expect to see a variety of worlds, but also there will be some repetition out there. In fact, we should fully expect to see a good selection of barren and somewhat empty planets, in addition to planets that do have life, as well as settlements, cities, caves and all that other stuff. Now, I get the impression that Bethesda want to set expectations accordingly here. We should not expect an infinite variety of unique planets. In fact, in addition to the interesting worlds, I fully expect to see a wide selection of more or less completely barren worlds. Firstly, barren worlds might present their own gaming opportunities. Secondly, players will be able to build on worlds, so if you want to take a barren world and make it your own, you will be free to do that. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, will be the modding community. Bethesda have confirmed that modding will be supported for Starfield, and this means that if Starfield is successful and has an active modding community, they will likely be populating all of these barren worlds and filling them with all sorts of unique and interesting things. After all, as many people have said before, Bethesda games live or die by their modding community. Circling back to settlements though, as we've said before, it will be possible to build your own settlements on planets. It will also be possible to populate these settlements with a crew. In all likelihood, the entire building system will probably be an evolution of the systems we saw put in place for Fallout 4, hopefully though with some significant improvements. Now, returning back to the planets themselves, we've seen from the gameplay video as well as from the concept art that we can expect to see a number of different environments. In fact, some of these environments will present inherent dangers to the players. These can include such things as temperature problems, toxic gases, strong gravity, and just how breathable or non-breathable the atmosphere is going to be, and perhaps there'd be a number of other factors to include as well. Now, Bethesda have indicated that players will be able to use their spacesuits to counteract and deal with all of these issues. Whilst Bethesda have said that they're not going full-on survival mode with the game, there will be some elements to, well, survive against anyway. Just without the full-on survival meters, hunger, thirst and all of that. Although Todd Howard did suggest that this may potentially come at a later date as an optional extra. Now, regarding these planetary dangers, we can see some of them indicated on the HUD element down in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. This shows us such things as gravity as well as temperature. There's some oxygen details here too. The HUD element also has an additional section here at what appears to be a globe. This likely shows the day-night cycle, indicating how far through the day you are and how close you are to night. You can see the terminator between the white section and the dark section here, and I'm assuming this is for the planet as that appears to make the most sense. So yes, it has been confirmed that planets will indeed have a full day-night cycle. This is because planets themselves do rotate, and whilst you're standing on the planet and it's rotating, it will mean you'll be able to see the moons and stars pass by in the sky. These being some of the stars and certainly some of the moons and other planets that you'll be able to visit. Because yes, Starfield is very much about spaceships. Now in space, we know you'll have a free flight, you'll be able to fly pretty much anywhere and travel to other star systems. You'll also be able to discover space stations and other such things in space. But the big question has been early on, just how will you be able to fly around planets? Well, again, Bethesda early on wanted to set expectations here, and they clearly revealed that no, you will not be able to have atmospheric re-entry. You won't be able to fly from space down towards the surface of the planet. Instead, there will be a transition screen. Additionally, it will not be possible to fly around the surface of planets or around the atmosphere of planets using your ship. Once your ship is landed, it seems it's landed, and when you take off, it will be purely to go back up into space, rather than to fly around the surface of the planet. Now, this is a bit of a disappointment to be sure, and it makes a clear separation between a traditional space sim and Starfield, a space adventure. Whether or not this turns out to be enough to keep players happy, we'll have to wait and see. Although from what I can tell so far, at least from the limited information we've seen, I think there's more than enough planetary content and space content to keep those players happy who are used to traditional Bethesda games, which also includes me. So that's all the details we have so far on the planets in Starfield. The pickings are pretty slim to say the least, but it gives us a bit of insight as to what to hopefully expect. Do let me know what you are looking forward to most when it comes to Starfield in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. Meanwhile, do check out this other Starfield video on the screen right here. It goes into some details on the other information we know about Starfield, including some suspicions on what may have happened to Earth. Do check it out. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.